but they love their car and they take care of it and it means something to them. And I guarantee that person is a cool person with a cool story. What's up, people? So today, how about we talk about something positive? Oh, I know, right? Casey being positive and not just be a snarky, condescending jerk that tells the truth that makes people sad. Wait, this is verging on negative. Yeah, no, I'm not gonna do that. I want to talk about cars and coffee. I like cars and coffee. I think it's a really good thing. So my hometown Cars and Coffee that I've been involved with since way back in the day when it started is Columbus. Now Columbus is a funky town. I don't know the whole deal, so I'm not trying to start a thing, but there's two Cars and Coffees in Columbus. There's the one at Lenox, which is a theater with a theater in a little mall area down by Ohio State, and it gets a neat assortment of cars. And then there's the one that meets out by Buyers Automotive, which gets a little bit more exotic cars, but also still a really good, diverse, across-the-board selection. So that's kind of my favorite one. It's run by a guy named Paul Milligan, who's been doing it for years, been doing a really good job. And I've just kind of know everybody and a lot of people there, so kind of have a good group of friends. So it's my vibe. And this weekend I was down there. Had a great time, went down, hang out with a buddy, got to go shooting, have a good time, just doing good guy stuff, driving sports cars, having fun, being out in the countryside and getting together and, guy stuff, right? So this morning, before Cars and Coffee, we get up early in the morning, which is insane. Like, I stayed up late at night. Why do I want to get up early in the morning? But it's fun. You leave, it's a cool, crisp morning and driving along, tires are cold. A big car, got to pay attention to that. My traction was low in the Viper. But I had a great time. Went to First Watch Breakfast Place up in Worthington. And there's a bunch of guys there. And it was kind of a fun surprise for me because the friend I went with, he's like, yeah, we're going to breakfast with a bunch of guys. It'll be good. I'll introduce you. And I ended up knowing a bunch of the people there. So it was kind of fun. It was almost a family reunion. Sort of a good family reunion feeling. But, just a bunch of guys getting together, different age groups, different generations, different cars, different tastes, but everybody just enjoying getting together, early on a Saturday morning and going to go hang out with other car people. And the thing that's nice about it is the vibe is, it's not like an old school boring car show. Everybody's got to be perfect and get all ready. You know what I mean? And like, oh, we got to be there this time. It's just, let's get together, enjoy life together, tell stories, talk about things. What do you do with your car? It's just real. And then we have a great drive, just kind of bombing along and having fun, without being total idiots. And going to the Cars and Coffee out of Buyers. So we get there, and there's already people arrive. They get there early, and you park wherever, and then you start walking around, get coffee, and you hang out. And so I've done quite a number of videos on my YouTube channel so far. And one in particular was why baby boomer car museums are failing and millennials can fix it. And, there's other videos here where I talk about different generations and the different cars and sometimes kind of stereotypes and what people think and how things change. And there's Cars and Coffees all over the United States. And I think there was actually a big myth because the place that started Cars and Coffee in California tried to make it their own or copyright or trademark it or something, but then they just all sprung up all over the the whole country. So it just kind of went with it. So it just became a cultural phenomena in the car world. Now they're not all going to be the same. They're going to have different personalities, different leadership or lack thereof, but every community gets their own. So it's fun when you travel to get together and meet new car people at something like this. And that's a good time too. But anyway, so we get to the Cars and Coffee across from Buyers. I think it's Whitehall Park. And, cars look good. And they're diverse and they're interesting. And there's Corvettes and Ferraris. I saw a Pontiac Bonneville with a V8 in it from the 90s, I think. How random is that? That's cool. And there's guys with, young guys with Volkswagen Golfs and a Porsche 944. And there's new expensive stuff, but whatever. And Ford GTs. And it's so cool. But the thing I like about Cars and Coffee is, in a way, people aren't really taking themselves too seriously. I mean, I showed up. My car is filthy. I haven't washed it since I went down to Atlanta to go hang out with Ed Bolian and Ben Wiki, and then go hang out with Rob Pitts and Rabbit. And my car's got probably 2,500 miles on it since I washed it. It's totally filthy. And I'd like it to be clean, but I don't have time for it. So I just show up, and people were cool with that too. Like, if anybody was snobbing on it, they did it to themselves and nobody cared. Everybody's having a great time. And today was especially fun because, reconnecting with people you go on a rally with, or old friends, or making new friends, maybe meeting some of you guys that are out there. Comment if I saw you. And it's just good fun. And you start having, you talk about cars, you talk about life, you have real conversations, and it just mixes up. And frankly, the thing that was cool about today, of all the car events I've ever been to, races, concours, like over the top car mark club meetings where like, oh, we got a car. It's our first time in life to act like snobs, and we're going to do it badly and annoy. Wait, this is getting kind of negative. Let me get off that. So I just felt like everybody was being real and cool, and nobody was fronting. And if they did, I didn't notice. And it was just good. So I guess today is just I just want to talk about kind of a salute to cars and coffee all around. So I hope that all you guys around the country and world, if you have a cars and coffee or get together kind of like that, have fun being together, meeting people, enjoy each other's car. And I was talking to a buddy of mine today about it, and you can see new exotics and stuff and whatever, and that can be fun for a minute. But oftentimes it's the people who drive something random and old, and maybe it's not necessarily that valuable, but they love their car and they take care of it and it means something to them. And I guarantee that person is a cool person with a cool story. So, talk to those people and reach out and get to know people, make friends. You probably learn something. I think basically everybody in the world, if you listen to them or give them the chance, has got something they can teach you. So that's really what I like. And then people, depending on the cars and coffee or whatnot, maybe it's the group that arranges it or runs it, or maybe it's an individual. They'll have cruises and drives. Shout out to friend Paulie Anthony, who is doing his super cool exotic car drive today. If this comes out, I'm going to miss it. Sorry, man. I got a Boy Scout troop coming by Genius Garage. I got to go show the youngins around, and a buddy of mine's coming to town. But anyway, it's just great because it's a place that people can get together, not take it overly serious. You don't have to show up perfectly clean. As long as everybody cares about their car and is respectful of others, and it's an extension of, the passion of driving and just sharing that and being cool. You don't have to front. Like, everybody just chillax, okay? We're all car people. It doesn't matter if you are just stupid FU money and you don't know what to do with it and you have a chip on your shoulder, relax. Or you're my punk that has a chip on his shoulder, relax. Or if you have no money and you built your first car and you're excited and you want to stick it to all those other people with a chip on their shoulder because you have a chip on your shoulder, relax. Or if you just happen to be a person with a car that doesn't have a chip on their shoulder and you're already relaxed, maybe you can teach us something. So it's just a good time. And the drives are fun, going to it, going from it, getting together for people for breakfast or lunch, and going on big drives, and just enjoying cars for the way they're meant to be driven. And I think the best thing is just don't talk about money. For all you young guys, you fanboys out there that want to do something, just don't talk about money. Don't ask people how much it's worth. It doesn't matter. If you want to figure it out, go figure it out on your own. But when you get together with cars and driving, it's just about cars and driving and people. And we're all people. All these stupid cars there had four wheels. I didn't see any jokers showing up in a Polaris slingshot, okay? And there's a couple guys on bikes, and I dig that. But whatever. And I do miss, I have to admit, back in Columbus I'm thinking like 2010, 2012 or 13, I was more active in it. That was before social media really exploded with Instagram and then drove all the prices of exotic cars up because everybody wanted to flex and think they're cool and their car should be worth too much money. But that'll be a topic for another time. We'd also have some pretty chic get-togethers in the evening, like Saturday nights, like close off part of a street for parking and then have a club or just something that was, just fancier and fun going out with people where you just park your car safely and have to worry about it. And it's kind of that celebration of life. You enjoy your car, you put time and money and effort into it. It's cool, chic, you enjoy driving it. You go out with your date or your significant other, wife, and you go somewhere with kind of like-minded people that have a similar, zeal and zest for life. And I think that's the coolest part of Cars and Coffee. When you go long enough, you start meeting people, and you know people, and you meet new people, is that, first of all, everybody's different. They're all in a different place. The rich, the poor, the middle, whatever. They have different hobbies, but they like cars. And the thing that's neat about that is, it's just nice to, for me, I've been doing this for a bunch of years in Columbus. When it first started, it was like better part of 10 years ago. And it's neat because you sort of get to know other people's lives and pay attention and know them and connect and bond through cars and the enjoyment of driving. And you see people go through good times, you see people go through difficult times. Sometimes people disappear and come back. Sometimes they're gone. Sometimes new people come around. And it's sort of just, it feels very human. It's very humanizing to connect with people like that and just hear about where people are going. And I think that's helpful too in getting through life for guys, just to have people to connect with and talk to about life, and just know that there's other people out there that have the same, excitements, the same loves, the same passions, the same sadnesses and fears, and everything. So I think in the United States now, culturally, in modern times, it's a weird time. And there's so many things that, like, everybody's picking apart everybody else for everything that makes them human or different. And there's certain groups that aren't allowed to talk or think or others that, like, you can't even talk about. And, it's just nuts. Across the board, I think we can all agree to that. But Cars and Coffee is cool because there's so many different people there. There were people there from different countries. There's people of all colors, shapes, and sizes. And we all like cars. And I think the best way to have different kinds of people come together and understand each other and get along is to have some sort of common goal or interest. And for all the people at Cars and Coffee, that's the enjoyment of driving, the enjoyment of engineering, and of just the excitement and the art and the passion of that. So it brings everybody together in that kind of brotherhood, and I don't mean that in a masculine way, so chillax keyboard warriors, in just a brotherhood of driving and cars. And that's cool. And oftentimes people that are into that have similar tastes and hobbies, whether that's, engineering or art, or they like going shooting, or they like watches or mechanical things or airplanes, and you learn about other things. You meet interesting people that you get to connect with and go from there. I mean, actually, before I went shooting, I had like no ammunition. So I had to go pick some up, and I was randomly at this gun store picking them up, and there were two of you guys out there who watch. It was exciting to connect and meet car people just randomly too. So I think that's what's exciting. No matter where you go, cars have a way of connecting. And way back when I did some Concours delegates, the smaller ones, in my hometown of Tiffin, all the money went to historical related things for preservation I thought was important in the community. And it was a 2-day affair, bringing people from out of town. It's good for the economy of the town. It's really just a great celebration. You do it for couples, the ladies too. You make it a family-friendly affair, music, restaurant, all that jazz, right? And in the like about page that I wrote for everybody in the packet was that if you think about it, for over a century, the automobile has been in every industrialized nation, okay? And cars represent everything from utility, going from point A to point B. Maybe it's a farm truck. They represent sport, the sport of racing. And nowadays, things like drifting or rally or whatever. They represent social class, different people with different tastes, whether you're driving a Rolls Royce or you're driving a Pontiac. They represent art. Think about, there's all kinds of crazy subcultures, whether you've got a lowrider or you've got some glued up tchotchke car in California, right? Or, a duded up Beetle and Burning Man, or you think it's beautiful to coach build a aluminum, beautiful 1950s European racer. They're all different art forms and expressions. And the thing that's neat about that is that has a way of connecting all kinds of different people. So Anyway, guys, I just want to do something positive. Kind of think about it. Just be a little whimsical today. Be easy on a Sunday. But I think cars and coffee is a really great thing. And the only thing I can say is, for everybody, don't take yourself or your car too seriously. Enjoy it. Be proud of it. And go enjoy other people's cars. And be proud that they're proud of it. And be happy just to be together for that time. And, check all your bothers and differences at the door. Because the last thing we all need is just another big fishbowl full of male Siamese fighting fish going, "Rah!" That doesn't do anybody any good. So I like it. People can come and go. You avoid those like snotty niche sports car club get-togethers like, my car, blah, blah, blah. I'm so cool. Give me a break. So anyway, cheers to cars and coffees all around America, and shout out to my guys in Columbus Cars and Coffee, Paul Milligan. Good job, man. And all the sponsors help support that too. But in the meantime, I hope you guys have a great rest of your weekend, and I'm going to bring some crazy stuff this week. As always, thanks for being here. I appreciate it as we're growing and doing cool stuff, and I hope you will like, comment, and subscribe. See you guys next time.